Hello folks, my name is Steven and welcome back to my channel Trading Chain. In today's video, we're going to be doing Thinkorswim tutorials part 2. Since we ended with these two tabs last video, I am going to be covering the next two tabs in today's video. So let's get straight to it. As you can see on the Analyze tab, that there are many tabs over here. And this information is pretty similar to the one in the Trade tab. And if you go to my previous video, you'll be able to see why. But it has the same bar right here that has the basic information of last, net change, the bid, the ask, the size, which is one for the bid, one for the ask. This multiplied times 100. So that's what it's going to be. So 100 for the bid and 100 for the ask. Now the volume, the open, the high, and the low for the day. You'll also be able to see the straight grid, and we can get up to 32 of these grids over here, but I'm not going to be doing that because it's too much. So I'm just going to keep it at 3, which is the default amount. Now if you want to collapse the trade grid, all we have to do is click this and it'll collapse. Now there's the options chain. The options chain is for options, so I'm not going to be covering this in that much detail. But for example, let's say I want to open this, and usually the default is set to 4 right here. So you'll be able to see 4 strike prices, but say we want to go as far as all. So we can see all the strike prices over here. And to collapse the options chain, all I have to do is click this area right here, the date, and it'll collapse. So now you can see that it has a little bit more basic information about options, like today's option statistics, options time and sales, and product depth. And this is the implied volatility over here, which is something that has to do with options. Some traders might know this because you might need it in trading sometimes. Now you can see that there's this bottom row that's going to be pretty popular in options, and it's going to show the basic information for like the current day, because say you bought an option and 5 days passed, 8 days passed, which is going to be my examples. 8 days passed, and you will be able to see if you do a few moves. If you right click and then you go to, there's like this one button that will show you how your option is doing. You'll be able to see this and what's happening, and you'll be able to see how much you've made and how much you've lost. Sadly, over the current 8 days. And now you'll be able to see that this is there's a few more information over here, and you can edit the options and the option statistics over here just to see how it works. And then there's this area right here. So if I place a trade, in options trade, then you will be able to see this right here. And if you have a stock investment, you will be able to see it right here too. Now, since we basically covered everything over here in this simulated trades tab, we will go on to the risk profile. And the risk profile, right now you see nothing because, well, I have nothing on here. So I'm going to go to the Analyze tab and then click Add Simulated Trades. And I will say go to the 30 days expiration. And I'll click 14 of them. So I see 14 strike prices. And then let's say I want to buy the 255 strike. All I have to do is click that, and this is by default, it has 10 shares. I'll show you how to change that later on in my future videos. And then all I have to do is either click right here and then click Analyze Trade, or I can just click Scan. Never mind. Or I can just click the risk profile, and here and you'll be able to see my trade. And well, it's kind of tempting to see that you'll be $7,000 up right now, this theoretical price. So this isn't exactly what it's going to be. And options might look tempting because if Amazon goes up a little bit, you'll be able to make a lot of money. but you'll have to provide a lot of capital, which is around $12,000. And I'm going to be getting that into the future of this channel about options when I start talking about them. And you'll be able to see that it has the same like box right here, so you will be able to see the same information as if I go to add simulated trades tab, but this will be the risk profile for a long call, which is a type of option strategy that's very bullish. And now you can edit a few things over here, but we're not going to be doing that because we're not going to be talking about options for a long time. Probability analysis. Wait, first I'm going to go to the add simulated trades and remove this because I do not want this position. No way. I don't feel like buying Amazon right now. But this is not financial advice, so you can buy it if you want it. And now you will be able to see that there is like a probability analysis. You can insert this on your chart in a few ways. In just one way actually, and you will be able to customize this right here and see if the stock goes up to some kind of level, how much it will be up or down. So for example, if the stock goes up to $250 right here, you'll be able to see that I have a certain amount of probability range. So this is an interesting tool, but not a lot of traders use it, plus it's very complicated. Now, economic data, this is kind of important because it's like your news portal. Not your news portal, but like um, kind of like stock portal and pairs portal and forex. No, I don't think they have forex on here, but like the commodities portal to all of these. So, for example, banking. If I want to go on to banking, on page one, there are multiple pages that, and if you click over here on page two, you'll see that I'm on page two, but I'll click on page one. For example, I click on the first news article, and you'll be able to see that it brings out a chart which is a little bit, which is pretty similar to the regular charts, except that it has a line and shows different information about banking. This is large bank consumer credit card balances, and then it has a little bit more information about this. If you want to go back to the main page, all you have to do is click the reload, and then it will give you a warning. And if you click yes, it'll go back to here. So there's not that much information to say over here, except that if you want to write down something that's not written on here, because these are like the defaults, but there's still more you can add, then you can write it right here, and you will see that it will bring up more things for you. Now, the think back tool, it's a pretty interesting tool, but like there's a version on real money that has like a different kind of version on demand. You'll be able to trade like for real in the um, in past time. For example, if I want to bring up Amazon, ticker AMZN, and if I go, for example, a few days out, like before, you'll be able to see that there's different options chain, and if I have traded here, they'll be able to show me they'll be able to show me like my trades that happened over here, or for options. Now if I go on to the fundamentals tab right here, this will bring up the fundamentals, which are like news, and we day traders, we have to pay attention to them, even though some people might say, no, we're day traders, we don't have to pay attention to this, all we have to do is pay attention to the regular price. This is pretty wrong because we have to know why the stock went up or why the stock went down, and then we can trade more confidently and more easily. At least that's in my case. And for example, if I want to go to the healthcare and the biotechnology area, and let's see, um, go down, and I'm just gonna choose a random stock from here. Oh, I recognize this. Bluebird, BLUE ticker. And you'll be able to see the different kinds of ratings from who. So Schwab, that's no, that's very bad. LSCG, hold. and market edge that's long. You'll also be able to see some information about here, the stock chart, and keep in mind that its current price was never actually at 1,272. It was just this price is factored in from splits, so that's why it looks like as though this is so much. Because sometimes you will see stocks that had a future price, that had a past price of around 300 million, and that is just absurd. So that is from splits. You can also buy the ask and sell the bid, which is $7.36 for the ask, $7.01 for the bid. So that's a 35-cent spread, and that is not that liquid. That's what I'll tell you. And then you'll be able to see a little bit more fundamental analysis things over here. Now there's earnings. So like for example, if I go to biotech, choose any stock. This like for example ACOGF doesn't have any. Sec. Let me choose a good one. This one over here, BJ. Over here, you will be able to see some basic information like the actual earnings per share and the Wall Street estimate. So as you can see, the stock did pretty good with all the earnings. They always beat analysis estimates, so that's a nice stock. But I wouldn't recommend you trade it. I don't recommend you do anything except just give you more knowledge. Now over here, this is like a scanner tab, and as you will see over here, you can scan for stocks if you add tickers. So for example, stock beta, for example, to close five $5, and then scan, waiting for results, and you'll be able to see a lot of these stocks. And remove this filter. Oops, sorry. Sometimes it doesn't remove on the first try. If I just click scan over here, you'll be able to see all the stocks. Now, if I go into options hacker, this is just the same version only for options. So like delta 60, minimum 6. Oh, sorry, 60, and the days to expiration 30. Just click scan. Doesn't always work, but you'll be able to see that these are some of the expiration dates, and for some of the stocks that have like our criteria. Now, spread hacker. For this is for hacking, not hacking spreads, but like finding spreads. So like for example, if I do that and that, click scan, we'll have a lot of these, and this is mostly for options. As you can see, these are all option strategies right here. So yeah, and this is basically all the information for the spread hacker. Now the spread book, if I enter the symbol Amazon, you'll be able to see that this is like a book of spreads. Like this shows only spreads for the stock in the last like that were traded recently. I'm stuttering a lot. And now you can also see that there are different types of strategies over here that have been traded, and this shows most of the stocks, most of the options that were traded. So if I click refresh, there you might have a new one of these strategies pop out. Now if I go to ISC Spreadbook and enter Amazon, you'll be able to see that there also have option strategies that are pretty similar to the spreadbook, only this shows a few extra option strategies that are not written in the spreadbook. So this is basically it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video about Thinkorswim tutorials part 3. I'll be making more of these videos really soon.